Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
And I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we've got...
Most creepy.
Tonight we've got Cupcake.
Cupcakes.
Right. So for those of you just tuning in, creepypasta are essentially scary internet stories that are copied and pasted across the internet. It got slanged into copypasta, and then the creepy ones are creepypasta. So.
And for those of you who are aware of cupcakes, we'll wait for you to finish laughing. Okay, now let's carry on.
Yes. We recently got an email from a listener named Stella, and she gave us I assume she gave us a list of creepypastas that she recommended, which is awesome. However, a majority of them were My Little Pony creepypastas. So we decided that it being December, why not? Christmas spirit and all that, or season holiday season stuff.
Let's do something
a little bit more upbeat, right?
For someone else, not so much for us. Let's not think of our own selfish...
Yes.
I never want to read a My Little Pony creepypasta.
Yeah, because neither of us have
We're not bronies.
Yeah, we're not bronies. We've never watched My Little Pony. I have friends that have watched it, and they've that's my knowledge is from them, but I don't know really anything.
Oh, yeah.
Next to anything.
Your friends.
Shut up.
I'm surprised you didn't blame your sisters.
No. So... Son of a bitch. So we decided to go with one on the list, which was Cupcakes. Now, a little bit of backstory for this one. It was posted on 4chan/co/thread back in January of 2011 and it looks like the creator of it was a person named Sergeant Sprinkles, and it's infamous in the My Little Pony communities, apparently, because there are such things. There's a type of genre of My Little Pony fanfiction called grimdark, because it's just creepy, dark version of the stuff. But this one's classified as grimdark as fuck, in all caps. So, yeah, this one. Okay, so we start off the rundown's not going to be very long for this one, because the majority of the description for this story is torture porn.
Watch an episode, start playing an episode of My Little Pony, and then about halfway through, just switch to Saw.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much a good description of it. So, you can, if you wish to take a look at this one, it's on creepypasta.wiki. Mr.Creepypasta does a pretty good reading of it with actually some talent to come in for the voices. So we'll put a link down in the description below and such. Yeah, go check it out. We'll wait. Awesome. Well, I'm kicking that dead horse again. Anyway, so the rundown for this one. Cupcakes starts with Pegasus named Rainbow Dash flying around, and then she goes down to her friend's Pinky's place, and Pinky asks her to help her out with making cupcakes. So, and then she offers one to Rainbow Dash, and it turns out it's roofied. So then, as she goes into unconsciousness...
Not necessarily roofing, but drugged.
Yeah, drugged. So she then proceeds to be dragged down to a sub-basement in Pinky's house, where she is strapped down in this just torture chamber, essentially. And when she comes to, Pinky proceeds to just mutilate her to death. Because she's needs to get her special ingredient in her cupcakes, and that she's been doing this for a while, and it's really creepy and disturbing.
And apparently it's decided who's next based on
number.
What I assume is some sort of lottery.
Yeah, either a lottery or exactly. And Rainbow Dash's number came up, so. And yeah, just go, like, I'm not going into full detail on this one because it's just, yeah, torture chamber, or torture scene and mutilation ensues. Pinky apparently cuts off her little symbol thing that's on her flank. And she's been doing that for a bunch of other ones, and she's actually made like a cloak or something. She's got a necklace of unicorn horns, and she's got like other Pegasi wings, all attached to this creepy, like, Hannibal Lecter-esque kind of like suit.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill, yeah, that's
Hannibal
the guy.
Lecter just ate people.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill's like suit. And so, yeah, there's just this long, like, series of paragraphs where they just, oh no. Okay, a series of paragraphs where they're just, she's mutilated and eventually she dies. All her organs are ripped out and stuff. And then Pinky, like, at the end of it, Pinky is just like, well, man, I'm gonna miss Rapidash. Why do I keep saying Rapidash? Rainbow Dash. It's like, but wait, I have all the parts. Maybe I can just sew her back up and she'll be good as new.
Rainbow Dash.
I'll bring her back, and then
I'll
do that.
Rebuild her
and then
better than she was before.
She won't be alive.
No sass.
And then she decides that, yeah, she's going to stitch up her friend, and then she realizes she can do that for all of her friends. And
when their numbers come up.
Yeah, when their numbers come up. Yeah, she's not.
I mean, she's not crazy here.
Yeah, obviously.
She's got to wait for their numbers to come up.
So, yeah, but apparently she's been doing this a while, and nobody seems to have noticed. So yeah, and that's where we kind of leave off, is that she is going to now stop using these maybe stop using these ponies.
Well, no, she's still going to use them for baking, but she's also going, like,
to sew them back
homies,
up.
She's going to basically taxidermy them. And
yeah, that's what that's the first thing that came out. Was like, so she switched from baking to taxidermy.
No, she's doing both.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because when you taxidermy something, it's empty inside. I mean, it's not, but it's no longer filled with the gooey bits.
Yeah.
That I'm assuming one would use in baking.
Yeah, which is probably.
I don't really know what parts of My Little Pony meat you would use in baking. Apparently, it's not the organs. Yeah. That was one thing, because, like, her little chamber is decorated with like, all of the parts.
Like, the streamers are intestines.
So, I mean, the only thing that she's not, like, decorating with is, like, literally meat. Huh. But why would you put meat into, like, maybe My Little Ponies taste like sugar and gumdrops? I don't know.
Yeah, how does she, like, apparently she's been, like, it's assumed that she's been doing this, like, for a while, and people have already, like, she even mentioned...
No, it's implied.
It is implied, yeah, sorry. That
actually, it's outright stated.
Yeah, it's like, well, you've had them before, I don't know why you're so, It's like, oh, God. Cupcakes are ponies. You gotta tell somebody. Don't forget to tell somebody. Soylent Cupcakes is ponies. All right, I'm done.
It varies from pony to pony.
Oh, God. This is going to be a weird episode, folks. This
is a great time to tell them that. Hey, now that you're through the looking glass, it's going to get fucked up. All right. Let's go.
I can't. I just can't. Oh, God. So, that's the story, pretty much, is that she drugs her friend, kills her, and then decides to go into the taxidermy business.
Not into
per personal friend. Yeah.
But you make it sound like, oh, yeah, I'm going to just taxidermy all... No, she's still in the cupcake business.
Yeah, no.
She's just going to...
She moonlights as a taxidermist.
Well, she's just... You know what I mean.
All right, so... Leviathan, what did you think about this story?
Honestly, okay, I see no need for this. That's, something I gotta state right off the hop, because this was written by someone who knows way too much about My Little Pony to want to read about My Little Pony torture.
Yeah.
And yet... They did both, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a really weird combination. Like, you kind of gotta wonder about the mind space of this person.
Well, I now know so much more about My Little Pony than I did before I read this. Now, I mean, I knew nothing, but, you know, now I know there are different types of ponies. I know a few names. I know that griffins are apparently a thing.
Yep.
Like, you know, so they clearly knew
a lot about the story, the series.
Yeah, they've, like, you know, they've seen one up close. So, why would someone who is watching My Little Pony write this?
Want to make Saw in the Ponyverse.
So, I just have no idea why it exists. That being said, I mean, if this is your gig, I mean,
like,
hey,
twist. I mean, well,
it's well done.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, like, we're saying that, like, it's like kind of weird mind space, like, to have like that such a twisted, dark take on a kids thing, but that's like whole genres of like that's Lost Episode genre.
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
Well, no, because Lost Episodes aren't like a lost episode of the show. This is written as fan fiction.
Yeah,
and that's worse. That makes it weirder because someone is writing this in the world of My Little Pony, whereas with a Lost Episode, it's like, oh, there's a weird episode of fucking Ninja Turtles or Transformers or whatever out there. That's different. That's a different thing. This is written as though it's supposed to take place alongside all of those episodes.
Yeah. Actually, I think in the comments somebody even mentions like, "Oh God, that's why we don't. You never see this person anymore in the show." It like almost explains some of the missing characters, according to some of the comments.
All right, then you see even more, even more of like, okay, why is this person writing this? They're clearly watching the shit out of My Little Pony. So you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and
it's just.
And like I said, this is kind of a subgenre within the fan fiction of the My Little Pony. It's a creepypastas within the fan fiction, because they're just like grimdark. Like they twist the show on its head, or like twist the innocence essentially of the show.
Yeah, and so I just don't.
I don't fully understand it myself. Aside from just like maybe just contrasting the show's vibe with something dark. I don't know.
Maybe
to get a reaction of fans, like to troll, essentially. I don't know.
Yeah, but this was written by a fan. This was written
by, I know.
Or at the very least, someone who's so out there to troll that
they watched.
You know,
they went to the
whole seasons and got the rundown and were like, okay, I can make this weird. Like
it.
Then that just makes it a waste of fucking time.
Because it like
like a waste of their time.
Yeah.
They put way too much effort into this, if that's the case.
Yeah, so, like, they must, like, I have to assume that they had to be a fan of the show to know as much as they did, and to, like but, like, it's a weird kind of, like, fan, like, I don't want to, like, and I'm not meaningless in, like, a bad way, but it's just, like, just a weird, like, kind of, like, fan mentality to, like, twist something as innocent, or, like a nostalgic, innocent show. By the way, this is actually, like, this stuff's, like, the new show, not the 80s show. But
I don't know. Just...
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, like, the writing is really, I mean, the writing seemed really well done, though, that said.
It was well done, and I honestly don't think, like, okay, it's torture porn, it's gore porn, but it's not really, I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that, you know, I'm reading it, and in my mind I'm seeing a My Little Pony, so I'm so far detached from it. But it didn't seem, like, overly gratuitous either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, while still being, torture porn, it wasn't overly gratuitous. I mean, there's no real tasteful way to do a torture scene.
No.
But if there was, this would fit into that category. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Really, I actually kind of thought it was gratuitous. Like, I understand where you're going for, but, like, there were some, like, she literally, like,
the idea of it is gratuitous.
Yeah.
But by doing the gratuitous idea, you have different levels that you can sink to, and this one doesn't sink anymore. It, it's not like it described the skin ripping off and how, like, I could have done this way worse.
Okay, fair enough, yeah. She does,
Way
I know,
grosser.
like the death, the final, like, the blow, like, the killing blow for Rainbow, though she was probably dead halfway through it, was getting stabbed in the throat, and then it going right up over her head as her skin was being scalped. Like, they described that in the last...
Yeah, I could have described that worse.
Oh, God.
I could have described that to make you...
Ah.
So, like, it's...
Like, yeah, it's...
So, with that in mind,
yeah.
I have to say that this isn't, like, okay, it's a gratuitous idea, but it's not done gratuitously.
Okay. I will not... Just smile and nod. I kind of get what you're saying, but it's just hard for me to try and process that, I guess. Then again, it's kind of hard to process this. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, so the writing was good. The story is a little like it's fucked up.
Yeah, the story is, well, I mean, okay, if you take this story out of the My Little Pony universe and you just make it people, this story has nothing going for it.
No, it's just,
and that's really the crux of the thing here, is that
it's
the only thing about this story that makes this story mentionable is the fact that
it's a My Little Pony.
In My Little Pony, and that's not enough.
No.
That's honestly the lowest common denominator. It's the cheapest way to get reaction. Take something and do this with it.
Yeah.
It's so, like, it's almost like you could have just been like, oh man, I've got an idea, and then you write it out, and it's not very good. So you're like, okay, but if it was My Little Pony,
yeah,
it would be awesome.
To me, it's...
No, it wouldn't. It'd be cheap.
Yeah.
It'd be stupid.
To me, this one falls under that, like, you do something for something's sake, but, like, should you do something for something's sake? Like, you have this idea of doing a creepy, twisted serial killer in the My Little Pony universe just to do it, because the concept's there in your head, but should you do it?
Should you make a pen that can write in space, or should you just take a pencil?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's that kind of like I guess that's kind of like what my like term for it, or like what my like reaction to this is. It's just like, because I mean I listened to it. I'm just gonna admit that I didn't read this one in full. I did listen to it on YouTube channel from Mr.Creepypasta. So I finished the 24-minute reading and was just... So that's what Dr. Leviathan feels sometimes when we do these stories. It just, I thought I could, like get something out of it, but it was like...
No, this really doesn't have anything in it.
No.
That's the thing. This has virtually no substance, because it's really just riding on the fact that it's My Little Pony torture porn.
Yeah.
And... like, that's what it is, and
like,
that's all it is.
It's creepy, but not... The story is not really... Like, it's kind of creepy that this sweet, innocent seeming pink pony is a serial killer. That's kind of creepy. And
yeah, but it would have been
concept,
creepier.
Yeah.
It would have unnerved me more if Pinkie Pie wasn't a pony, but a pedophile. Or something else, like some other...
Yeah, like...
creature that would be so happy-go-lucky, and yet sick and twisted, and,
yeah,
cutting you up and putting you into baked goods.
Yeah.
That would have gotten to me a little bit more, because, honestly, I find My Little Ponies to be creepy.
Yeah, like, they're creepy on their own, really.
Like, they ain't got hands, but they can use tools.
I know. Especially when she lifted up the scalpel with her hoof. It's like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, it's creepy in the wrong way, and I think the fact that, like, the knowledge that somebody wrote this under the pretense of knowing a whole lot about My Little Pony and wanting to do this is overpowering. Like, that it's the wrong creepiness.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense, right? Like it's like overpowered by the wrong type of like why you should be creeped out by the story.
Well,
not the context of the story, but like what made the story.
It's like Jeff the Killer.
Okay,
It's famous for all the wrong reasons. Like people know about this. Because I'm assuming that this isn't the only, like, that we're not the only people who know about this.
No, this has been around since 2011.
People, like, people know about this for the wrong reasons. They know about this because it's My Little Pony torture porn.
Yeah.
Not because it has anything to contribute to either the My Little Pony universe or to torture porn.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Jeff the Killer, not a good story, had a creepy picture.
Yeah.
You know what, like... I mean, obviously it's different, but it's similar in that it's not. People don't like it because it's well done. People like it because it's some
just messed
silly
up
gimmick.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a really messed up kind of like, but silly gimmick at the same time, and it's kind of like unnerving in that respect. Also, apparently, there's a sequel to it called. Well, no, there's a unofficial sequel to this apparently called Rainbow Factory. I don't know. It's on the list that we got from Stella. So thanks. I don't know if we'll do that one. I'm not sure how many of these we'll ever get around to. We might go back. We might go back to these at some point.
And if some of them are better than this, like I mean, if we read one and it's better than this one as a story in and of itself.
Yeah.
There's no, like, I see no reason not to. But if it's the same thing, just a lazy torture or gore porn thing set in the My Little Pony universe, all we could do is say the same stuff we're saying now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like we've, repeated ourselves several times, so...
Yeah, we just keep kicking the same dead horse.
Well, that's your favorite thing to do.
Yeah. So... recommendations. I'm kind of leaning to no for this one.
Honestly, this thing just has no... Anyone who would appreciate all of the nods to...
My Little Pony
knowledge shouldn't like the gore and the torture.
And the fact that their favorite characters are being killed.
And anyone who would enjoy the torture and the gore would just feel awkward with all of their newfound My Little Pony knowledge. I know I was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I don't see an audience for this. I mean, apparently it exists, but...
And it's infamous. Like, it's... a lot of people have read it. I'm not saying most people, but a lot of people have read this, but, like...
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't like...
So, yeah, no, this one's not getting a good... this one's a no for me.
If you've gone thus far without having read Cupcakes, don't go out and read it now. If any of your friends are like, oh, you've got to read this, My Little Pony thing. It's so weird. It's so messed up. Just tell them Dr. Leviathan and the cultists say no, because you got better things to do with your time.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're going to sit at home, stare at a wall. You got better things to do with your time.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of My Little Pony, watch the My Little Pony.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of,
of
gore and torture,
watch Saw.
Watch Saw.
If you're a fan of creepypasta, find another creepypasta.
If you're a fan of our episodes, listen to one.
Yeah. Again, I would like to thank Stella for sending us the email, because it was a very interesting list. And I'm sure, I know we're going to get through some of the other ones that were on that list at some point.
We already had ideas to do some of the stuff that was on that list. So.
Exactly, yeah. So, I think...
But, I mean, someone asked, and I read My Little Pony creepypasta. So,
yeah.
If you recommend it...
We will read it and judge it, or at least figure out what we think about it. Because that's why you listen to the show, to hear us give our opinions about creepypasta. All right, so I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
I've got nothing else to cover for this one, because we're just going to constantly keep going around in circles.
Yeah.
So,
and I think this thing has circled the drain long enough. But
so. For if you have a comment, questions, if you want to tell us that anything that your opinion about it or whatnot, you can send us a tweet on Twitter. I'm at Review Cultist. Dr. Leviathan is at Dr. Leviathan. You can also put a comment in the comment section below if this is on YouTube or anywhere, like on the Tumblr, or we're on iTunes now, so you can send us a review, let us know how we're doing. That would be awesome. And also, as Stella was able to do, you can send us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS @gmail.com, where you can also send us suggestions for other creepypastas to discuss on the show. We've got a bit of a list, but we will take emails into consideration. So until next time, I've been your host, Review Cultist.
And as always, I'm Dr. Leviathan.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.